Well, I am exhausted in a way that I did not know was possible. I don't know what the total weight in dirt I moved with a shovel this week is, but I can tell you it feels like tons. But let's start with Monday. Our solar setup was delivered to Vegas and we decided we could not wait. So once again, my $30 Amazon mics fail to record. Between them and my phone overheating more than a few times this week, it's been difficult trying to get this episode up to par. Still, they say necessity breeds creativity, so let's prove that out. Our solar setup was $5,200, broken up between two large purchases. We bought the batteries via eBay, and I'll go into specifics during our install video, but it's 20 kilowatt hours of storage, which should be plenty and a healthy start to our system. The other half of the setup we bought from SunGold. It's not the huge solar array that I'd planned, but getting it up should end our reliance on propane. Anyway, with 680 pounds of solar parts in tow, we turned around and headed back to Golconda. Okay, before we jump back to home, I want to take a sec to talk about this turn just outside of Tonopah. For the dozens of you who watched episode 2, you'll know that Tonopah and I have a history. So there's this turn going from the 6 to the 276 heading towards Austin and Toyabe. The warning sign for the turn is about 20 feet back from it, so when doing 60 or perhaps 90, you suddenly got to brake left. Now, I don't consider myself an expert at much, least of all highway construction, but it doesn't take Aragorn to read these black rubber stains for the signs that they are. After an extended period of time, we finally have a solar system. We ended up going with a So the trailer is 48 volt, so our inverter needed to be 48 volt in order to make it so we weren't limping that trailer, in order to make it so we weren't neutering that trailer. Not neutering, neutering's the wrong word. What's a good word? Huh? Go boy. Huh? Did he eat?
Yeah. Picked it up. He was just kind of laying there, guarding it.
So now that we have solar, and we'll talk a little bit more about the details of that when we kind of get into the build for it. Now that we have everything we need to actually install solar, we need a location for our batteries, and we need a location for our inverter, as well as a little trench to install our 50-watt outlet so that the trailer can plug right in. We had planned on using a tow trailer that my dad had found. It is currently stuck in Vegas awaiting somebody with a CDL license to be able to bring it up. So today and for the rest of the week, we're going to be creating a spot and readying the area where we're going to be putting our solar, as well as finishing up the trench. And in the background, concurrently, we're going to be working on our new truck. Anyway, we're going to get this stuff somewhere safe, take the trailer back, prepare the area, and then get ready to do the install and get solar online, and that'll be our second resource, which is pretty exciting. You know, Athena and I were talking about, as each of these things come online, what a game-changing addition it is to the homestead. Having water now is amazing. It's alleviated so many small little issues, even down to as small as
doing a project like we're going to be doing today and needing to wet the ground so as we're digging, we're not kicking up a bunch of dust that we're breathing in. As well as watering our plants and showering and all that stuff that goes without saying. Having water on property is huge. Having power on property is going to be another huge, huge step. But in order to get it online, we have to prep the site, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's get to work. Okay, so with the trench dug, we need a lot of gravel in order to backfill that trench, in order to create a filter for the gray water as it moves down it towards our tree. So we ended up choosing not to go with a pipe to fill that gray water trench. After a lot of helpful comments from the last video, come to find out that we really don't need a pipe for the gray water trench. What we can be doing is use the gravel to backfill that trench, and as long as the water doesn't sit, it won't have that terrible smell. And we've tested this and just left the gray water valve open and let the gray water run right into that trench, and the smell dissipated. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be collecting rock, and we're sifting it now because we're gonna create two different layers. We want small pebbles on the bottom, and we want 1 to 2 inches of small pebbles along the bottom of the trench, and then we'll backfill the rest of that trench with bigger rocks. And that'll help filter that water as it moves down the trench.
Right shot.
Okay, we're gonna test the grade of the trench here to make sure Steve. I know you want to be in the trench. We're gonna test the grade of the trench here before we start applying rocks. So let's see.
You're probably wondering where our new trench tree came from. On Wednesday, we took a trip into Elko for some lumber, tools, and this jerky I can only seem to find at Cal Ranch. While we didn't specifically come for trees, we're always on the lookout, and we knew we wanted something grand for the Graywater Trench. We left with 2 trees, and they're our biggest yet. Athena and I are pretty sure we can't buy any bigger out here. Maybe Reno, we'll have to see.
So, pause on wrapping the trench up. We just got word that the trailer that we're going to be using as our solar shed, as well as some initial storage that we desperately need, is coming up tomorrow at noon. So in a scramble, I had to try to rent some equipment to be able to get this trailer off of the trailer that it's being brought up on. So I have a 10K boom lift on the way out here. That'll be delivered today. Unfortunately, because it's the weekend, I'll have to have it delivered on Friday. It won't be returned till Monday, so I'm sure the quote they come back with is going to be above $1,000, which is terrible, but it is what it is. We're getting the trailer. We're getting this trailer storage for free, as well as the big greenhouse is stored inside of it. Both of those things were free. So even paying the $1,000 or more that I'm sure it's going to be to rent this piece of equipment, it's still worth it for what we're getting out of it. We're kind of guessing on the size of this trailer. I've asked my dad a few times on the size, and he tells me, "Oh, it's big. It's plenty of room," which we're going to assume that it is a diesel rig truck size trailer, so probably 10 by maybe 40, and that's what we're going to be clearing. We're going to be clearing this space here, moving back this way, maybe a little further this way, we're not exactly sure yet. But back towards here, moving forward, the trailer is going to sit long ways this way, hopefully with the doors facing that way, and then we can make a nice little overhang, a shade overhang coming off of it. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be making a call. We met a couple more neighbors from the Green Saddle community just on the other side of the creek from us. And one of the guys is the fire chief for the Golconda Fire Department, which is amazing. And he was letting us know that there is a Kubota tractor that we can get access to for $50 in order to help move some of this ground around. So I'm going to be giving him a call. We'll see if the tractor is available. If it is, hopefully they can bring that out today and we can use that to help cover some of this. But we'll see, and if not, we're just going to get to work and do it by hand. All right. Okay. So it's a little after 6:30 in the morning. Last night I worked till around 9:30 and then took a shower and ate something and passed out, knowing that it was going to be an early start today. The trailer from Vegas, our solar shed and storage container, arrived from Vegas last night, or drove up from Vegas last night. The driver is staying somewhere in Winnemucca. I was told that he would reach out to me from between 10 a.m. and noon today, which means by 10 a.m. he's probably going to give me a call and say he's on his way. So we need to finish leveling out this area and get that last railroad tie into the ground so we can set the trailer on top of it. Hopefully, using the boom lift, we can lift it up and set it down where we want it. I've got more than a few hours worth of work out here. Athena's going to join me shortly. I think as soon as I finish this coffee, I better get to work.
Alright, so here's how it's looking so far. We've leveled out all those lumps. Starting to smooth out the driveway part of it. I guess it's not going to be a driveway, but for right now it's temporarily going to be a driveway to get that trailer up on the railroad ties that we've leveled out. It's looking pretty good. So much better than it looked before. Stumbling.
Okay, bitch, check this. I know bringing me down is a part of your checklist, but you can't cause I'm feisty. You mad in the corner, I'm here sipping iced tea. So many bitches wanna down me. On the way to the top, can't reach, can't find me. Better chill with them looks. AK over here on the beats, making hits with hooks.
Okay.
We have yet another piece of equipment that's arrived that I've never piloted before or had any experience on. I have watched one YouTube video so far, and the
Okay, I don't know if this thing has the same safety precautions as a skid steer, but I'm going to assume it's going to force me to put on my seatbelt here. This thing is like above my belly button. Then boom. Okay, so that's that. Parking brake is off. Okay, now back should lift the boom. It's great news. Forward brings the boom down. And then sideways should extend the boom. And let's see that now. There it goes. So that's right. left brings the boom back. There are these two dials on the control here. One tilts the forks. There's down. There's up. What does this other one do? This other one? Okay, that other one does something that I don't really know what it does yet. Well, we'll find out. Maybe it's something when it's out.
The trailer arrived at 10:45, and as it rolled onto the property, I was more than a little nervous about getting it off the flatbed and into place. I know I've said this about so many things, but having some place to store our stuff is yet another step towards this place becoming a real homestead. But with the easy part over, it now needed to be lifted off the bed.
So, the trailer's been delivered. It is set down on the property now. It is not in place though. It needs to come over another 8 feet on this side and probably another 15 feet on the other side in order to get onto the railroad ties where it's supposed to rest. Rather than trying to do it with all this weight inside of it, I'm going to attempt to clear out as much of this as I can by hand and get a lot of the weight out of this trailer and then come back with the boom lift and see if I can crab walk this thing into place. Somehow we got it all done. I'm exhausted. I think I'm going to go inside, eat some spaghetti, take a shower, and then I'm going to pass out.
Each week demands more than the last, but I clearly see the progress we're making. In 11 months' time, I hope to look back on these first steps with some amusement. But for now, each day demands an answer to the same question. What are you willing to put in to make this happen? And my answer is still the same. Everything.